Hey there, happy Monday, guys. I love Mondays. It's kind of exciting here in our house as my bathroom project's kind of getting to the end. The vanity base and top got installed today. So it's exciting to see that all come together, and also the hopefulness that I had with the paint color matching everything now that it's in, to see that happen and everything. It's kind of exciting, and so it made my Mondays, which are usually one of my favorite days of the week, it made that even better. Hello there, Lisa. So Lisa's on here, and that reminds me, she just texted before I went live to say, hey, I'm in a happy place. A lot of you are texting to say my catalog arrived. So over the weekend, lots and lots of catalogs are making it to mailboxes, and I am thrilled about that. So I always love the new catalog. I always think, how can it get any better? What can they make that's new and fresh and exciting for all of us? And yet they do every time. So usually when a new catalog comes out, I try and do some kind of giveaway or something like that. So maybe next week I'll start something like post a selfie with a catalog or something. So keep those catalogs handy for that. But look on this page, but maybe not for a week or so till I get caught up on some things around here too. But it's always fun to do that. Hi, Donna. Hi, Lois. Good to hear that you found yours in your mailbox too. Hi, Carol. Hi, Pam. Hi, Julie. Lots of you on here. So I'm just going to show you, as exciting as today is, like I said, and I love the card that I'm making, but I'm having an off day, and I'll tell you about why, and it has to do with the products that I'm using. Just every once in a while, things kind of fall short. So here is today's card. Kind of wanted to do something more like masculine, so I'm pulling that really fun Ride the Range bundle out from the mini catalog. So that's still... I want to say it's still current, but honestly, the dies for it are unavailable. So that's my sad note for today. They were on back order for a while. They were supposed to be in the week of April 12th. And I think with all the shipping delays worldwide, then they now have extended that to coming in like the week of May 5th. And then just another update on a really popular product is that strawberry builder punch that a lot of people are looking for to come in. And so I think the back orders may have come in today, because literally there was a 2-minute stretch that I checked on it this morning, unavailable this afternoon, a 2-minute stretch of low inventory, which means it's in, and then they maybe have shipped out back orders, possibly. I went to type it in to add it to somebody's order within that minute, and it said unavailable at that same time too. So it's like, how does that work? So I'm thinking that's maybe what happened, but then they have an expected date on that strawberry builder punch for the week of May 10th. And so then with that, it's carrying over. So those of you that have your catalogs and are seeing that, that is a product, that strawberry builder punch, that will be in the next annual catalog too, which is great news. So I was just trying to see if I am live yet, so that I can switch or put down this and switch hands here. So let's see. I'm just going to set this down. Good. Okay, that's going. So let me also get my card down and my camera angle here so I can show you different things today. So like I said, I enjoyed putting this card together, and before I get too far along, I wanted to do something with the tin tile embossing folder. So I started out thinking, oh, I love the tin tile in the deep colors, because I think it really shows off that 3D embossed look. So I started off with cherry cobbler, thinking, oh, that's great. And then do I want to pair that with some kind of gray color, because that always looks good with gray? And do I want to pair it even with the Retiring Pretty Peacock? Wasn't sure. I couldn't get things to come together. So then I tried to pull some Pretty Peacock into here, and I did my horseshoes in a soft suede color. That wasn't working. None of that. I didn't like the size of this label. So in the Tasteful Labels dies, I just did a much not much larger, but the larger size that's similar to this die. And then I swapped out and made, instead of soft suede horseshoes, I made them more like the silver tone by using smoky slate and such for today's card. But sometimes I like to show you, like, this is what happens some days when you think, okay, I go to bed thinking this is what I want to make, and then this is what it has to be because nothing with this was working. So if you have days like that, like I said, Mondays are usually my favorite day and things go well. So I can't even chalk it up to being like, oh, it's a Monday, because that's unusual. But this is where it gets weird. So I was so excited about showing you, you know, this is where things are coming. So in the annual catalog, tin tile 3D embossing folder, just before I went live, I already had the card made. I already posted to Facebook that I was going to be going live. And yes, Pam's like, I really like the card, and you know I like the colors. It's a great color combination for those of my friends that love anything in blue tones. This will be a great card. But when I went to look up just before coming live, the tin tile 3D embossing folder is already sold out. So I can't ever be totally disappointed, because a lot of you have this embossing folder. So it makes it exciting for me that the purpose of kind of the whole month is showing you some last ideas for retiring products before I put them away, because you guys don't have to put your retiring products away when you have them. But I just want those of you that don't have this and that are maybe looking for it, it's no longer available to buy online. And then the other strange thing that I did is when I was putting together this, I kind of like the look of like a handkerchief or flannel shirt. And this is from the annual catalog 2 on page 150. And so I got these out because I thought this is great. 2019 to 2021. In color, DSP 6x6 stack. It's retiring. But then I went, you know, guys, I used the last year's packet. The colors are the same, but the patterns are a little different. So these are the newer in colors, but these are the patterns. I think that wood grain would look really kind of fun. They have some words on the back, but even this for kind of a rustic outdoorsy look would even be just as cool, if not cooler, than this pattern that I'm using here. But I kind of want to let you know that, so when you're ordering things, and the other thing I went to check to see if this was still current or in the online store, is even though these colors are still available in this pattern, I found out that it's on sale. Instead of $11.50, it's $9.20. So far that's the only good news that I'm bringing you today. So kind of feel like Debbie Downer today. But so when the Ride the Range bundle comes in, that, like I said, is from the mini catalog, which goes to June 30th. So even though the dies for this are unavailable, that's on page 68. And a lot of people are patiently waiting for their dies for this that are on back order. And just know that once it comes back in stock, then I think you should be able to get those and get that ordered too. So that's where that comes from, that I'm using the stamps and such. So hey there, Wendy. Good to see you on here. So let me get started. Like I said, I love this color combination. Like towards the middle of the first week of demos for Stamp Camp projects, I had some really pretty florally paper that used some white and a pretty peacock and a pulled in gray, and I'm like, why have I never used those colors together? So when my other color combinations were falling apart, I went, you know what, let's pull that color together and see if I can remake my card in a way that I like it using that combination. Hey there, Jen, it's good to see you on here. Your name hasn't popped up for a while, and it always brightens my day. Okay. So I'm going to start with a piece of 4 by 5 1/4, and that I'm going to run through my cut and emboss machine. And like I said, this is that tin tile 3D folder. And something that I want to mention is, if you got this when it first came out, it's going to look really thick compared to some that maybe got it later. Stampin' Up! Went through a stretch where they came out with some really thick 3D embossing folders, and they called it kind of like their dynamic ones. And And so this is thicker, and so when I put it through my machine, instead of using that kind of like gray adapter plate, for some of you that have the previous cutting machine, it might look blue. For those that have this new machine, but kind of the older style of the folder, I'm just gonna make sure that that's straight, because for this one it's kind of important to be straight in there. And thanks, Lynette, for the compliment on the color combination. It is kind of fun. So for this, I'm just using that first base plate labeled number 1, and then I'm using only one cutting pad because that's how thick this is. And then it goes through super smooth. And hi there, Joyce. Good to see you on here. Okay. And this is what it looks like. So the fun about the 3D is it really gives a nice deep groove and really makes the pattern pop on there. Hi there, Faith. And I can tell it's a little bit later in the day too, because people that normally are working, I think, are jumping on, which is kind of fun too. So this, since I'm not using any ribbon or anything, this can go right on my project of my card base right away. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, folding this way today. So let me get that tacked down. And sometimes with this, I look like, what side do I want this to be on? I mean, there is, you know, definite right and wrong, but one of those that it looks really nice either way. So, and sometimes you can take like a white or even any color of ink, and with a sponge, just kind of lightly sponge, and that will make all of these designs kind of look a little rustic or vintage, which is kind of fun to do with this tin tile embossing folder especially. Okay, so we've got that on there, which really makes those colors complement well. And then next I am going to stamp out with Smoky Slate ink. Going to stamp out a horseshoe. I really like the horseshoe in here. I think my son, my oldest son doesn't watch my videos. My youngest one chimes in every once in a while when he can, but I think this might actually be maybe my oldest son's birthday card coming up next month. We'll see. I know I want to use this set, and every time I think, oh, this would be the perfect card for him, oops, then I think of a different idea for him. So we'll see, because I've got weeks yet to play with all the different things. So let me load this up here. 1 second. All right. Oops, I need a cutting plate down there. Kind of had to take everything off to use that embossing folder. So now I get to load it up for you guys again, the way it should be. Okay, so before I get too far, the open range dies, I think the reason why they've been so popular, if you remember, this is the set that had that big backdrop that I used last time, a nice little curvy piece for landscaping, a rickety old fence. It cuts out bales, horses, cows, but the favorite piece, I think, was this windmill. So that's where I'm pulling the horseshoe die today, is right from here. So let me get that lined up. And actually for the card, I'm going to need 2 of these, but I also love being respectful of your time and also making my videos as efficient as I can. So I've already stamped and cut out 1 of these dies, so I don't have to stamp and cut out 2 while you're watching. And then next I'm using, like I said, this largest die from the Tasteful Labels die collection. Oops, one slid out. I was going to use this one, like I said, but it just turned out too skinny and made it kind of look too skimpy on the card front. So I thought, yep, I need to go with the larger. So when you order the In Colors or any of the 6x6 pattern paper, not all the colors to it, but just a pattern and all the colors, it comes 6x6. So I was trying to be efficient too with how to line up this die to get the most out of it. So I think if I kind of just go every which way, I should easily be able to get 4 out of this and make several cards with it. So, and that's always important for me because I'm usually making several cards for you guys for Stamp Camp packets to mail out in sets of 10. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so I've got my couple of horseshoes and I've got this, and I can bring my card back. And then next I am going to open up Cherry Cobbler and kind of bringing in a different color, but I think it'll make sense when I tell you and start to embellish why I still chose this. I had it laid out because, like I said, my theme was going to kind of be Cherry Cobbler and soft suede. And so when I started to stamp out the birthday sentiment, I decided to just kind of stay with that because it looked really decent with it. So I'm just taking a strip that's 3/4 wide, and it's long on purpose because whenever I have to line things up, I like not having the pressure of putting myself in a box, and that way if it doesn't stamp out perfectly straight the first time like that, then I can always flip it over, or I have that whole long strip to work with. So the Cherry Cobbler is a nice deep color, which I think works well with the color combination that we have going here. And then I'm pulling out my Banners label punch, and then this is a carryover from the holiday catalog, but like always I will be listing, you know, all the supplies used. So if you don't have it and it's something you're interested in, you can always look at my still shot to know what I used and the details for that. So I'm just going to slide in, and that gives me that nice banner punch. And if I haven't used this for a while, but I use it often. So there's a 1/2 inch slot, 3/4 is what I use today, and then even 1 inch. And so you can have that look and all those slots to do the different sizes. So that is great for that. And then I just snip it off and eye it, so hopefully that is straight. So that I can just kind of put aside there too. And then I should be able to do some assembly. So with this being popped up or like raised up a little bit more, I'm just going to put regular adhesive on here and not dimensionals for this one, but there will be some coming. I'm kind of just setting it off to the side a little bit, but not a lot, and then centering it top to bottom pretty much like so. Okay, got that kind of straight. I always kind of want to put it at your camera angle, but then I want to make sure that it stays straight too. Okay, so now these little tiny horseshoes, I wanted to pop these up, and that's where having these little mini dimensionals is perfect. You can tell how I like go to reach in and cut different strips off on here, and it's getting towards the end, but I tell you, I'm always amazed at how long one sheet of these last, let alone a package that has 3 sheets on it. And I'm just gonna put like a couple on this one, and then I'm going to put a couple more, and they're going to kind of overlap each other. So that's why I don't want to put a ton on, because then I have the fear when I overlap that they're going to double up and get extra bumpy too. So just going to kind of go like, whoops, like so on my card, like this. Just lay it on, and then I can press it down like so. So we have that double look. And then for this, I'm just going to take regular dimensionals, because there's lots of space for regular dimensionals to be on here. There we go. And then that can just kind of tuck down here and off to the side a little bit, but popped up like so. So nothing super fancy, kind of a little bit more plain for now. But for guy cards, I think, you know, sometimes plainer is better. And now as far as embellishment and adding little pieces, this is where I thought it kind of got fun. So this is something that I use quite a bit. It is retiring, and I put the price that it was $7, and couldn't hardly read my own writing. It's down to $5.60, and this is still in stock. And like I said, I use tons of it. The braided linen trim, and it's got kind of like a crumb cake finish, but I've found several times, that when I use it with my gray toned cards, it just is such a great neutral look that it just kind of ties in and goes well together with that too. It looks great with anything like rustic, nature, nautical, stuff like that. And for this, I am going to do something a little different. I'm just going to cut off a little strip here, and then kind of make sure that my strips are kind of the same, so just tiny, and then hopefully I didn't make them so small that I can't get my big fingers to just make a knot. So I'm gonna do a double knot, so I have my 2 strips, just one on top of the other. Oh yay, and I think that went through. So it almost looks like a dog chew toy. Just like I said, there's 2 of them in there, but then as I pull them through, I kind of just want to rough up the edges a little bit so that it's going to look almost like, oh, you know, the twine stuff, twine stuff that keeps the bales together, which I see a lot of that around on the farm here too. So we kind of have that rustic look, which is kind of fun. And I'm going to attach that to my card then with just one glue dot. So I'm just going to where the knot is, press that into my glue dot here. When I pull it off, now it's sticky, and that can go on the card. And I'm just making sure like that overlaps there, but not the greeting at all. And then kind of just accents that open spot on that die there. Hi there, Barb. And then I did want to add some more embellishing. And so these were in the holiday catalog, the blue adhesive back gems. They carried over, so we don't even have to wait for the annual catalog to start. These can be ordered today. I will have that, you know, that item number 2, the 153547 posted with the link. If you ever see, I post links after my videos, so not only the product names and such, but a link with my video and the still shot that shows kind of all the products that I used, and that's really helpful. The only problem is with the link, like I can't link the tin tile embossing folder today. It doesn't show up in the online store because it's sold out. So that's my only trouble. So only current products will link for that. But these blue adhesive back, they kind of have some of the lighter blues and then the peacock. And so I thought, well, that's kind of fun. So I wanted to use the larger. And for being kind of a rhinestone, it doesn't look too girly. It almost reminds me of like the shiny pearls or things that are on like the cowboy looking shirts, and that kind of have that look for the Western look for it. And this is what was kind of fun for me, is kind of the iridescent shine to it has a little bit of that red, dark red to it, which is really complimentary to the cherry cobbler in the happy birthday. So I felt like these really tied that in together. And normally if I'm making putting embellishments on cards, I like to do like a set of 3, but I just, with this coming out, I couldn't figure out an attractive way of putting 3 embellishments on. So I just kind of, where this is cut out, I just kind of put one there, and then where that's cut out up there, then I put one there. So I felt like overall the look looked like it should. Hi there, Pam. Thanks so much for sharing. And then I just want to finish up the inside quick for you guys. So I'm pulling in a 4x5 1/4 sheet of basic white. And now I'm finally opening up that pretty peacock ink pad. So for that being one of the main base colors, it's the first time I'm opening up the ink pad. And here's my stamp for that. Blaze your own trail. How fun is that to really kind of fit in with the theme of the card? And it's obviously from that same stamp set, and the font of it just kind of looks a little bit cowboy-ish, which is great. And then I'm going to pull out my horseshoe again and just stamp one of those on the bottom like so in smoky slate. So we've got that. Hi Ginger, thank you. And then I'm able to just tack that down with some seal here to put that on the inside like so, and we are set. So card number 11, idea number 11 for Stamp Camp Ready this month. Here's the outside, and then the inside just kind of continues on with that same color theme to coordinate it all together. There it is. All right, so hopefully you made sense of all of my comments of what's available and what's not with what I'm making today. And like I said, that's why I try not to plan my videos so far ahead, because often things can not only sell out because it's the end of the catalog, and that's what makes that last month of the catalog kind of hard in just demonstrating anything and ordering and planning anyway. That's why I'm doing more cards this month. But it just, yeah, makes everything tricky that way. And even with the new catalog, I don't like like to plan too far ahead because it's hard to get you guys excited for things and then all of a sudden they're not available because they're that popular that they become like unable to order for a while, and that too. So I kind of just go a lot of times day by day looking at what I have, what's available if I can ahead of time that way too. So if you're interested in getting cards from me, you can place a minimum $75 order using the April Stamp Camp host code, or just let me know and then the set of 10 can be yours for $22. I did get some out today and that was fun. It's a good feeling to get some out, and so fun to deliver in person too, which I got to do that to a friend, Nancy. And so that was good, and be looking if you are the first on my list. That's how I go, like the first ones to order, the first ones to request are the first ones to get the card sets. So I'll keep planning on making cards though and get some more ideas out to you guys. So I'll be back again tomorrow afternoon with card number 12 for April Stamp Camp inspiration. So hope to see you guys then. Take care.